the show off right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause
It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight.
let's get the topic straight, let's get things good, let's do everything that we should.
It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right.
Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight.
It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right.
Okie dokie, what's going on, everybody out there? Hope you all are doing well. For we are back for another one. This is your boy Tig, the host of Project Open Mic. Hope you all are doing well this Thursday evening. And that you're enjoying the night. Basically where I'm at is kind of rainy and stormy. So hopefully everything is just going as well. So we're basically coming to almost the end of February, which is of course Black History Month. Now for me it's not a big thing, but I understand for what other people want to point out certain things. I have no problem in pride of being black. But I'm talking about just me doing stuff myself, not just because I was born this way, because I had no control of the color. Of course, my parents did most of the job. Double checking something here. Of course. Okay, so we're good. So again, let's bring my lovely mug on the screen. Again, hope you guys are doing well. So tonight we're gonna talk about. For the last couple a little bit, I've been talking about black issues a little more than usual, bringing it up a little more, but also having a conversation on what we really need to do to help our community out. Now, basically, since I came back from my little vacation with getting married and honeymoon and settling and all that stuff, I've been showing stuff about how we have to take care of ourselves. And I always have a phrase where, like I say, you take care of yourselves, then you take care of yourself, then you take care of your family, then you take care of your neighbors, then you take care of your community. And that's what we need to do right now. Now, I've brought up some stuff for men, how guys, even though drama and past has happened, and I understand that from my point of view, you gotta be careful. But even though the past has happened and it was horrible, you still have to take responsibility for you, and you cannot make excuses for you to do horrible things for you. Understandably, you have to accept that and make better adjustments out there. And again, I do not protect any black man. I just want to make this clear. I don't protect any black man who have done any horrible stuff to any woman, to anybody else who done crimes, have hurt the community. I don't care who you are. I don't go with that. Okay, so that's not me. I don't defend that. I would defend when things are a little more different, but messed up as that is, I don't do that. So So I want to just state that we got to do better ourselves, black men. Now, you don't have, my standing is you don't have to go to college. Unless it's a degree that makes sense. If not, you could make a good amount of money in a lot of trade schools and community college, get trades, a mechanic, plumbing, HVC, stuff like that. Put your hands, because really, they just came with a story a while ago saying there's a lot of working young men that are not participating in work, and we gotta stop that because that's bringing down society all in itself. We need men. Now I know we have the whole saying about, which we're gonna be talking about, whole thing about we don't need no man, none of that, the woman stuff. I already argued that point in my Straight No Chases Daily. Remember, Straight No Chases Daily is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, between 7 and 8 Eastern. You just take daily topics and we go through it, from relationships to more men, manosphere kind of stuff. I'm not in the manosphere. I'm not a red pill, but I'm just saying, just talk about men because we need society needs men, and we work better as a couple. Women and men together work better. That's what makes a great society. Not this, oh, we don't need a man nonsense. And guys are like, yeah, who are getting fed up of how the system is messing them up with the courts and laws, that they don't want to get married again, or they're scared to get married, or scared to get into a deep relationship because of certain things, or taking their passport and heading outside of the country because a lot of Western women have some flaws in themselves, the way things are going now. Not all. There are good men out there and there are good women out there. You just gotta vet them. That's what it is. So, man, you gotta do a lot of vetting as well too to make sure of what's going on. Okay. With that said, we're gonna talk about women in this one more per se, in black women in this one, since this is almost the ending of. We're gonna be doing. I think I might do something more like a paternity. Like I said, prove my point once and for all, but we'll keep on doing it just to prove my point. Like I said, what I want to share right now does prove this, but a lot of men want to be in their kids' lives. They do want to be in their kids' lives, but there are some deadbeat dads out there. But there are also some deadbeat moms. It goes equal ways. But point taken, we gotta talk about some issues there. From since the 60s, things have not been really good. From since we got sold a bill of goods from the LBJ, and he said that I will have these NS vote in 20. You saw the video I did last week when I said, when I played the Malcolm X, also Lyndon B. Johnson, who he said, I'll have these NS vote in Democrat for the next 200 years, and he's been proven right. Again, most black women have been voting at a higher clip than men to the Democratic Party. Again, I'm not saying the Republican is a better party either. I'm a libertarian. Try something different, because for 60 years, nothing has done good, and I'm going to prove that again tonight in tonight's show. Another thing that also is a factor is, yes, they have, because of certain things, women have done good. I'm not. We have. They have. I'm happy that you guys could vote. I'm happy that you guys have the choices to do what you want to do in your lives. You have the choices to choose what you want to do, if you want to have a family or not. I'm against. To me, again, I'm against it, but I'm not gonna rule it by law. Since I'm a libertarian against abortion, I'm against it. As a Christian person, I am. But hey, it's your body, your choice, your sin. You gotta make that choice, and I hope that you live with it in a better way. But we are a high clip. Black women are a high clip of abortion. We are, from since the 60s. We have not moved the needle on our we call it, sorry, on our percentage in the black. If we did not, apologize there, if we did not abort our babies, and also didn't have a lot of black men out there who were angry and went out there and start killing other black men, we would be, I would say, we might be 30-40% of the population. And then we would have some real power, and we could do some real stuff in the black America. But we don't. Women are aborting kids left and right. There was a statistic back in, was it 2018, 2019? I think 2019. I brought this up, where there was more babies aborted in New York than born. That's crazy. More black babies was aborted than born in New York in 2019. I think that's what that year. That's for the year. That's a crazy statistic to have out there. We're now find out that with the help, Sister Shirzad Ali said this, and I agree with her. That she said that the feminist movement was a plight between a white man and a white woman. That didn't have to do nothing with us. It did not. We literally, but because you guys wasn't on the press of on a black man, so she was like, why that had to be our situation? But to make to make the movement more powerful, the white women did trick most black women to be a part of the movement to do that. And again, I ain't got nothing against the first wave feminists. The feminists, we have equal rights to vote. You could go out there, you could have a job, you could. I have nothing against that. Now the third, fourth, fifth right now. I say fifth because it's getting crazy out there. Third, fourth, fifth waves, yeah, they're nuts. They are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're flipping crazy.
NANI?
I don't mean to be like that, but yes. So in that regard, we have just situations that just don't help to bring the black family together. Everybody's talking about reparations. Everybody's talking about we need to invest millions and millions of dollars. You always hear that, but nothing has been done. Barely anything has done. And also, what we need is what we needed back after the slavery happened. It's sad, but after slavery, black people came together, and we were. I'm gonna show you that too. We had less out of wedlock. We were more married than the white people. We were better. We did better. We came together. We pooled our money together, have our own power. Civil rights happened. We stop segregation. Okay, I have no problem with that in that regard. But when it shows that bill of goods, like I talked about with the LBJ thing, we have basically pushed apart fathers out of the house. Fathers are out of the house. Mothers are being raising kids by themselves, and then that is what created generational poverty. People always say that, oh man, we have systematic racism. We have systematic racism, and a lot of black Republicans will be on YouTube be saying that I watch and say YouTube say that we don't. That's not true. Yes, it is. When the government comes in and say you need to give us your parental rights, kick the man out, we'll give you a house, not the best house, but in some cases, sometimes they do get good houses. Get a house, but we're gonna talk about that as well too. They get a house, and then these children grow up without the father, without the backbone of the black community, the fathers in it. Then there's a problem. The cycle keeps on perpetuating over and over and over. It's been 60 years. And the demographics have been not really good. Are there more women graduating from college? Yes. Are there more black women going into college? Yes. And my props to you. This is not a golf clap. This is the truth. I'm happy for you guys that is what's going on. Great. But one of the major problems is a lot of women who do most go to college, including black women, they take jobs that doesn't make a lot of money. You want to feel good doing some of this stuff? I have no problem with that. That's your choice. But you all end up in a lot of debt. Most of the debt is mostly women. 75% of the debt in America is women. That's not a good thing. And then you choose jobs. Like I say, I've shown multiple times in the past Project Open Mics where they have chosen jobs where their career does not pay as much, but this college degree is way expensive. You get a job that on average makes $40,000, but you get a degree that is $120,000. No, that does not make sense. Please, critical think. I mean, we already know they don't mess up the schools already. Critical think that part out, because that is nonsense in my opinion, and it's need to be taken care of because we are getting a disadvantage. The government is in doing many things. And also the government is also a part of the media as well too, because they keep on pushing up stuff. 2 weeks ago, I showed you to the black man how all the black men with the rappers and stuff, and it's fake. I'm in the music industry myself. I'm independent. I've seen all that stuff behind the scene. There are true rappers who live that life and make good money and everything, but there's a lot of them that y'all follow and you got just sucks. They don't live that life. They Airbnb a house or and if and rent a car Ferrari for a day. Sorry, there's times right now where money this y'all stacks some money. You can fake up money to look just like anything right now. Most of that money is not even real. And people follow and think they're doing that they're cool. Oh, great. No, it's not good. So I want to just go into some let's start the show. Get into nothing and let's talk about some statistics before we get into the videos. So we go into blackdemographics.com. As you can see on the screen, I'm gonna read it out. If you can't see, let me see if we can bring this up a little bigger. Okay. And let's see here. I think I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Okay. So let's look at the demographics here, shall we? For those who are listening on the audio, I'm gonna just read it out. But on the screen is the black marriage in America. Over the last few decades, marriage has been a declining institution among all Americans, and this decline is even more evident in the black community. In 2020, only 30% of black African Americans were married, compared to 48 overall Americans. 50%, half of African Americans would never be married, compared to 34% in all Americans, as you can see there. In the situation right now, black men marry at a higher rate than black women. Now, again, we're gonna be talking about this, but this is what women always come up with the whole "I don't need a man, I'm independent," all that stuff. That is hurting you. And I'll say it again. If you don't need a man romantically, I ain't got a problem with that. But with how things are going now with inflation and all the stuff that's going on with the economy, cost of living has gone up. Inflation is hurting us at a crazy rate. And trust me, the government ain't doing nothing to subside it at all, other than raise rates and make it harder for you as a black person and other company races, other than whites and Asian, but most of all to buy houses, to pay rent, because everything is going up. It's just hurting things. 52% of men would never be married. 48% of black women will never be married, but they have a higher rate of being divorced and widowed, because again, a lot of black men kill each other for some stupid reason. Let's go down to the marriage by race. 30% of blacks are married. 50% would never get married. Hispanics are 43, whites are 52, Asian are 58 will be married, and vice versa of that. The divorce rate is the lowest with Asians, and being separated is lowest against whites and Asians. Marriage in 2021 among non-Hispanic African Americans 15 ages and up, black men will marry black men. 85% have black wives. Marry black women. 93 have black husbands. I want to point out something here, and this is where it gets really crazy when I show you this. So this is what I was talking about. White women, right? Check this out on the screen. White women was at a higher rate than black women. We were low than black women. They were low. We married. We stick together. We fought together. We It was struggling, but we struggled and we kept the family together. Okay, and I'm not saying that a lot of the buck broken the buck busting that they had with slavery and everything does not for the white man abusing and white man abusing, and also there was some black slave owners as well too. But that the slave owners put into black men that yeah, that's not all black men did great. There was a lot of them were also cheating on their wives and historically beating up on their wives as well too. That's horrible. But the thing is, we were more of a family unit and we did more better after that. Don't forget, it was 23 when blacks get to vote, they vote, and then when blacks got to be to run in Congress and Senate and everything else, they didn't went for the Democrats, they went for Republicans. There were 23 Republicans before there was a Democrat, and that's around the 40s, and then it started to make a big weird change. But they were at a lower percent rate, and then up to 2010, which is the last number. Look at that. No, I think up to 30%. Yeah, so they're kicking it up there. Look where white women are. White women, they stayed around 10%. Now they're going up as well too, but black after the 60s and 70s, we shot up. This is a big shot. Same thing happened for men. We were lower than the white men. We matched in the 40s, dropped back down, and then we started. And then after the 1970s, the same spot with the black women is, we shot up as well too. And it's crazy. It is crazy. That's where we're having a problem. I'm telling you right now, the cure to helping the community is if we work together. I am happily, and I do mean this, dear, if you're watching, but I am happy. I'm happy that I married a woman. I'm happy as a black woman. I have no worry about. Also, I don't have nothing about classism or what's the other one that hurts a lot of black people as well too. But it hurts a lot of racists around the world as well too. Colorism. She is almost the same complexion as me. I think I'm darker than her, but maybe not. Light shows differently, but yeah, we have made a vow to have a cohesive family, and that we can move on to hopefully do the best we can to make sure our kids, God bless you, we have kids that we pass on our knowledge and our critical thinking down to our kids so they can make better decisions and not fall for things. They are because there are mothers and fathers out there who did their best and raised their kids quite well. Not denying that. But because of the community still so broken that some people fall into those categories still. I know a family member has 4 kids. One got luckily did great. 2 had a little falling out, and one is successful. Yes, one of them, most of them are successful. Don't get me wrong, they're successful, but one is like successful doing stuff, but still, you still became a single mom raising it because you choose a bad person to have the child by, and that's kind of weird in in what I'm thinking, looking at. Sorry, that's just weird that you have a degree in STEM, which is good. You have a degree in STEM, you have a great degree, makes a lot of money, could be further ahead in the future, but choose to have a child by somebody who is holding them back. That's why I say we gotta vet people. No matter what color it is, you vet them. But for black men and black women, yes, not I don't like I said I don't speak for black people. Black people don't speak for me. There's a subset of black people, I know it sounds bad, but Thomas Sowell said the same thing too. There's a subset of white people. There's a subset of everything because not everything is straight across the board. It ain't. There's some people who do good, and some people always like we gotta lift all everybody, whatever. Okay, If you could change the mindset of everybody else, then maybe we could lift them up. But if they want to live that certain lifestyle and be bad with money, don't know how to do certain things, always want to be violent, act stuff, then what do you want me to say? There's a violent subset of every race on this planet. And as I pointed out before, white people was the one who marketed the slavery. There was slavery before, from the beginning. Remember, go to the Bible, Exodus, slavery. Egyptians was slaving people. The Vikings slave, the Mongolian slave, the Chinese slave, the Japanese slave. Every race on this planet had slavery. Everyone. And let me tell you this: every one of those slavery people, the Indians had slaves. Everybody have slaves. They did it out of human nature, and sometimes people cooperated with them. Majority of people who got the majority of people who like I said, the blacks who got slaves. The worst. Funny about it, when you see the white man, the people who did Africa, who robbed Africa mostly of all the slaves and did that, were Persians. Nobody talks about that though. The white man came there. Yes, the white man did not went into a lot of Congo and dark Africa and all countries and all that stuff. Why? Because there were diseases that they were very more susceptible than black Africans, and they died at a rate. So what happened? Some they went in there and get stuff, but it was a small percentage. Most of it was basically a lot of the villagers and the warlords and tribes and everything selling off slaves so they could get money from the white man, get mostly like guns and stuff, so they could be more conquerors and everything. That's what happened. There's nothing new under the sun, sadly. But like I said before, let's get into we already got that. Before I get into more of the women's situation, I wanna bring this up for a quick second. Shout out to Idris Elba. He is one of my a good actor. And I like him, and he stated this, and I agree with his statement. Doesn't mean that you gotta be all whatever, but like I said, yes I'm black. Yeah, I don't. But here's the thing: at this point in my life, and at this point in time as well too, black this and black this, white this and white this. Now they're using the whole gay and trans and all this stuff, all that together. The first trans this, it's let's look at it. When people say, "Oh, the first trans mayor," okay, but as a white guy, still don't care. There's been a lot of mayors that have been white. First, trans sexuality doesn't got to do nothing with what you could do. Because I've said it once, I said it again. Nobody, and I do mean nobody, because I don't, unless you're doing something for blood or something else. My boss didn't ask me who my orientation is and who I'm having sex with, because that's none of his business. Neither would I ask anybody of my employees who do music with me. Hey, who you have sex with? No, I know people who are, like I said, people who are gay, who are homosexuals, and I don't care. Can you do the job good? Yes. Then we good with that. That's all I care. Can you do the job, dude? And you're a competent person. So I just want to play this little before we get into more before we get in the meat of things.
Actor Idris Elba has come out and said that he's done calling himself a black actor because he's tired of being placed in a box. In a powerful statement he made for Esquire UK, Idris says, as humans we are obsessed with race, and that obsession can really hinder people's aspirations, hinder people's growth. Racism should be a topic for discussion, sure. Racism is very real, but from my perspective, it's only as powerful as you allow it to be.
Exactly.
He goes on to say, I don't want to be the first black. I'm the first Idris, which reminds me of this powerful moment with Morgan Freeman.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
It's about time we all made the switch on this, in my opinion.
That is true.
Actor Idris...
Oh, good grief. I hate when he does this. That is true. That is definitely true. But again, just as a point to call out why we need to have a certain conversation in that, yes, black is black is an identifier, and it also does certain things. I'm not against. I understand that, and we should use it in that regard. But like I said, I don't want to be the first black this or whatever. We've seen a lot of people. Yes, Obama became the first black president. I don't know that is monumental. I get that. If there's a woman that become the first black woman, again, Kamala Harris became the first black vice president. That's great. Happy for her, even though she says she's Indian and also she's an idiot. Sorry, she is. I don't. That's what I say. I'm not gonna cheer you on because you're black and I know you don't have common sense. I ain't. I'm not. But she was the first black vice president, so cheers for her. Kanji Brown, again, first black to Supreme Court. Good for her. Again, in my opinion, she's smart. She's a smart person, but she's book smart, or she knows, or she's a politician that plays it. Because when you can't say, "I don't know that I can't define a woman," I'm like, really? You can't identify you can't identify a woman? Really? That's not cool.
Use it.
But we understand what's going on with that situation. So let's go on with this. I want to let's start this whole thing. Let's get for the people who are here early. Let me get it out of the way for you guys about the situation. All right. The situation is this. I talked about how the media likes to control people. Okay? They are. I want let me see. I want Pink Book Lessons to talk about this situation here. Now, I'm gonna point this out. No shade to Sierra in respect that she did get married and she got lucky. God blessed her with her prayer, she calls it, and says she found Russell Wilson. But Sierra put herself in a situation. She was the pusher of this. She was the person who made the decision to be this. So don't give me that nonsense about whatever. That I didn't feel when Cece went and went to date Future. I was like, what? What? That did not make sense to me. You know why I say that? Because Future already had baby mamas. What made you think that you're gonna change him? Shock and behold, and you were not the first, nor the second, nor the third. You found out, he doesn't. He is what he is. And then when you try to take his kid from him, when you know he did stuff for the argument that you know what he was about, the judge didn't agree with it, and I'm happy they didn't. But stop. You know what you did, Sierra. Sorry. That's the part I ding her for. You choose to be a single mother because you know Future. Again, we know it's like, again, there's a shark swimming off the shore. When you got bitten by a shark, you choose to jump into the water. If you stayed on land, the shark would have never bothered you. That's the way I look at it. So she has this new song coming out called this is for the ladies, something like that. I know it's basically saying I don't need no man. And it goes more than that. I'm not playing the clip here because again, copyrights and all that situation for what it is, so it's less headache. But my wife brought up something, and I agree with her, and I thought about it too. But it goes back to the video I did Let me see if I can find it. Excuse me. I'll show you what I was talking about. Let me do talking about, so you know when I was talking about the men. So I was talking about the men about this. I'm gonna play this part right here. because it needs to be said again. So I'm gonna play a part of from my show. You go back. You can go back and watch this again. You go Project Open Mic on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're gonna get, we do almost daily content, except for the weekends. So you can enjoy the content on Project Open Mic on YouTube. You go to Tempo FM, Project Open Mic. Also, we have a Spotify. Also, we have a Spotify. We have an Anchor. We have a Stitcher. We're gonna try to get in on iHeart. We're gonna try to get our podcast on there. Tempo FM, Nico. We have a Twitch, Project Open Mic on Twitch. So we have different platforms for different things. And shout out for the people who are in here, for the people in here, of course. We got 15,150 people. Thank y'all for spending your time with me tonight. But let's get into the situation. So this is what I was saying. I thought this for the men, so it's best just this for the women. We're talking about Sierra. So let's go with this. This is Malcolm X.
Told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players.
And nothing against those people. Those are good people, but Malcolm X has a point to point out. So I'll go back again so you go through it.
Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader.
Nope.
These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear. Usually Negroes know that when this bourgeois Negro walks through the door, he is not doing something that he's initiated himself, but he's involved in something in which the white man is the absolute author of and has sent him to the Negro community for some information. And when they give that Negro some information, usually they give him the information that they want him to take back to the white man.
Okay, so he's basically talking about how celebrities do certain things, and he's correct. So that's why I like how Idris Elba just said, "Hey, I'm not a black man, this whatever." He's only Idris, okay. And also, like I said, going where we're talking about with Sierra in this regard, we're also talking about how it's not that a lot of girls are, why are you looking up to somebody like that? Now, I look up for someone like a Thomas Sowell and stuff like that. And yes, I have my Bob Marleys and stuff, artists that I have looked up to as well too. But I looked up there for musically and not morally, because you find out a lot of times, as the old saying goes, sometimes when you find the truth about your hero, you sometimes the old saying of Batman, like you always the hero, you're hero so long that you fight the enemy so bad that you become the enemy is, or your hero turns dark. So I messed up the quote, but you know what I'm trying to say, like in that regard. So it's kind of weird for this. And so she released the song, and a lot of women did not like it, saying that she's a hypocrite. She's married, she has a kid. Married. She has a husband to go home to, love upon, in anything, any craziness. Yes. So I want to pick this because I've said this before. I've said this a couple times. I've said this a couple times.
The Hyundai brand has,
and a couple times I've said it's like, again, ain't it weird and it's funny how a lot of these people, listen to the music of something. A lot of these rappers, they ain't making that money. A lot of these rappers, they ain't gangsters. They talk all that crap. They ain't that. That's why I showed in that same video that you saw me put on the screen. I showed you that all of these people, including the white boys, are like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. He's like, I never been in gun and stuff. I never been a gangster. I never caught a body and all that stuff. It's just for show. It's just for show. And again, Cardi B, like I said, I've said it before. I don't cook, I don't clean, but Cardi, you cook and clean, and you do your stuff for your kids. But you're telling all these girls that I don't need that. You don't need a man. Even all the crap that with Megan Thee Stallion, I don't need a man. But she has a boyfriend. You know what? I'll just play the clip. Let's just roll the clip.
Married friends are unhappy. Sierra is Lala's BFF. So Lala said that, and now Sierra came out with this. Are they trying to tell us something here? A happily married woman just wouldn't do that. And it's nothing Russell is doing. He's just not the guy that Sierra really wanted. He's the inexperienced guy that fell into this trap, a very expensive trap. You could call it $100 million lesson once it's all said and done, and Russell still can't see it coming. Beyonce was talking about being up in the club and being single while she had already married Jay-Z quietly. She wasn't up in the club. She was hopping on helicopters with her man to get around NYC, on yachts in the middle of the ocean. The city girls been talking about how they don't need a man and forget men. JT is so in love with Uzi. I remember seeing it all over her face how happy she was when she was talking about her man when they went on that Justin show on Revolt that one time. Uzi was right there behind the scenes as well. And to be honest, I remember at that moment when JT was looking so happy. I mean, it really looked great on her. Young Miami was looking very salty. Then all of a sudden, she hooked up with Diddy. And next thing you know, she's standing at the award shows, holding up fan signs, and now she's the man's toilet, telling everybody they go together. Meg the Stallion is out here promoting Hot Girl Summer. While she's always been booed up. Wasn't she booed up with Moneybagg Yo before? She stole Tory from her best friend. And now she's got another man that she's been in love with. Cardi B telling y'all she not cooking and cleaning, one of the biggest promoters of 304 culture. But that's really not her culture at all. Everybody knows by now that Cardi B should have those long big nails in there fixing Offset's food, cleaning up and all of that. And I can't forget about the biggest female rapper ever, Nicki Minaj. For years, she talked about relationships, men and money, and what women should do. She said a lot of stuff. But one thing I noticed that she didn't do, she did not push out that baby until she found somebody to marry. And side note, he was nowhere near the get money type of guy that she promoted all that time.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, say what you want, but Nicki Minaj, she is not lonely. She is married. Even Remy Ma can say whatever she wants to say, but she is in love with Papoose. And you know.
Yeah, and Remy Ma, Remy, like I said, I liked you back with the thing, but you ain't playing that with Papoose, and Papoose ain't playing that because he held you down when you was in jail. He held you down when you was in jail. And so you cannot say, oh, because you talk about how this man held you down and everything. You cannot be saying, well, oh, I'm a feminist. I did this all by myself and all this stuff. This man held you when you was down on the ground, when you was in jail, when things were rough. So don't be saying this. That's the hypocrisy I'm talking about. That's the hypocrisy I'm talking about.
No, I love that for Remy. See, we all know what's going on. These women will promote one thing to all their fans, but they are living a much different life.
Exactly.
A better life than what they are encouraging other followers to live. Beyonce is happy with her man. JT is happy with her man. Young Miami is, well, okay, whatever. Let's be honest. Young Miami is a whole sister wife. These same women clown those sister wives all the time and have no problem with Carisha being one. And when you really think about it, Young Miami may not really be a sister wife. I would probably just say that she's one of his 304s. She's a tax write-off. All I gotta say for the young ladies, you can follow what these women say if you want, but just watch how you keep struggling and being alone, trying to be strong and independent and doing it all alone, while most of these women promoting the struggle life to you, they are not alone. And they're not struggling at all. They tell you to go out to the club and be with your friends while they're snuggled up at home with their men.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead and get the...
Exactly. That is so true. Don't let them do that to you. Exactly. Now I'm gonna come back to this a little bit. I want to flip it a little bit as well too, because we have to have a conversation. Remember, I showed you this statistic of after the 60s, the 50s, after the 60s, 70s, it went up for men and women of how they be not being married and being single and everything else, and that's when the nuclear family falls apart, right? So let me see. I want to jump to something here. Just give me 1 second. Let me find it. So we'll find that. on this line that one part. Then that would be good. See it right here. Lyndon Baines Johnson. Make sure it's on the screen. Lyndon Baines Johnson. I would have these Enners voting Democrat for 200 years. Lyndon Baines Johnson said that, and people are saying that this chair, yay, happy for this man for what he has done. And black people have been tricked for many times. Not all of them, but majority enough, and a good amount enough. Because again, let me be honest here. Not many black people vote. True. But those who do vote Democrat. Again, 98% clip for women was in the last election, and about 87 whatever for men. Men are falling away from the Democrat Party. And there's a reason why, and that's why I want to point this out right now. Listen to this.
About the problems of Black America, and in particular, Black women, or crime, things like that. And while I'm attacking the problems at its, I would say, at its root core, the big symptom of all of this is that most situations in Black America, if not all, are tied to democratic, liberal thinking. Now, I am a registered Republican. I mean, I don't think that's the safety net of Black America. But beside the point, democratic policies that do not challenge African American mentalities and
there was a time when I barely knew how to turn on a
Of course. Dang nugget.
do not develop Black businesses, things that the Black community can do to save itself, is a cancer in not only Black American society, but American society as a whole. And there is an article that brother sent me that talked about the 5 filthiest cities in America. Now, I want you to understand how this culminated or came about. How did they get these or this data? All right. This company, LawnStarter, gathered publicly available data and grouped those into 4 categories. The number 1 is pollution. 2, living conditions. 3, infrastructure. And consumer satisfaction. All right. Now, out of these 5 cities I'm going to talk about today, 152 were ranked. Okay. Number 5 on the list, Jersey City. Not too far from Philadelphia. How Philly didn't make it on the list, I'm shocked. 4, Detroit. 3, San Bernardino. 2, Newark. 1, Houston. And here's what is also astonishing. 2 of those cities have Black mayors. Houston is run by Sylvester Turner, an African American. Okay. Now, I want to talk about this because when we talk about policies, and we ain't even talking about crime here. Let's go to the dangerous cities in the United States. Okay. What are the most dangerous cities in America? Okay. I'm typing right now. I'm talking about this. I can guarantee you, we look at some of those. They might be also in the same dirtiest cities. Detroit is one of the dangerous. All right. That was the only one. Newark, one of the dangerous. Then we could talk about the other cities. Cleveland, Milwaukee, Little Rock,
Baltimore,
Pine Bluff, Birmingham, Arkansas, Milwaukee, Cleveland. What do those cities have in common? All of them are ran by Democrats because Democrats are huge on taking money in taxation from rich people. But you know what? It's never reinvested into societies for the most part.
Nope.
There's no private sector development coming out of democratic cities. Taxation is extremely high there, which is the reason why nobody wants to live in.
Activists, I'll be back on that a little bit. Activists, yes, but people who really do the real work, the real dirty, grimy work to get things working where it's supposed to be, no.
Extremely high there, which is the reason why nobody wants to live in Minnesota anymore or California. Everybody's going to where? Texas. Nevada is somewhat Republican, sometimes somewhat not, depending on how people vote. But liberal policies also, especially in Black America, we're going to talk about that, they praise bad behavior. We know it. Although they have some of the most stringent jail time laws, and I mean culturally, we know that in Black America, single moms are praised. We know it. Criminality, nobody addresses it.
Yeah.
But one thing that Democrats never bring is solutions to the problems that Black people have. There is never anything that communities come to do together to develop or to share resources or to create opportunities. The Democrats don't do that.
And I'll say this again. Go back to last Thursday, where I showed you about the Black mayor, Marion Browser in Maryland and DC. What she did, even though I don't agree with Black Lives Matter organization and all and what they have done and robbed a lot of people, they put Black Lives Matter, and then they did opposite of what Black Lives Matter said. As I showed you, that they do the co-op. Make you a paper tiger and move on.
The Democrats in Black cities blame everybody all the time. Even the media does that. And then for your blaming and for your failure to solve your own problems, you don't clean up your own cities. You don't take care of your own people. Your women don't have babies by men that want to take care of them. And then you go to the government and to the state looking for money to bail you out. Instead of that money being put into the infrastructure that may bring more money to the economy and more skill sets to the economies, which is what Republicans are better at doing. Republicans have problems and Republican cities have problems.
Yes,
but you don't see that problem in Salt Lake City, do you? Or Boise, Idaho, do you? No. Because those cities you see are more apt to do what? Self-develop themselves, reinvest into their communities and into their families, and favorable taxes in those communities or states or cities thereof. But in Black cities or in these Democratic-led cities, some of them led by Blacks, they're dysfunctional. Almost like HBCUs, which are heavily Democratic-based.
Yep.
Nobody does any work there. No reinvestment into the communities there. And I'm going to talk about this until I'm a cultural critic of the Black world, not just Black America, everywhere where Blacks are at. If you don't reinvest into the stable men to help women, you will never have anything.
True.
If you don't reinvest into your youth that can come back and create for your community, you don't have anything.
Yes.
When all you invest in is rhetoric that blames the white man for
showing up on the first page of Google.
I kind of wish that they give the dang on thing. They don't, which they didn't. Kind of YouTube. What the hell?
That blames the police for everything, and to free my N-word when little Pookie and them goes to jail. And to never solve your own problems, to never work with other Black men, and then you're absolutely silent on drill music and this cancerous music and behaviors that. And
that's why one of the things we're saying with Sierra and also with the fake rappers and stuff in the past videos, don't let the entertainers who live in their mansions and stuff telling you, oh man, I struggle. Yes, a lot of them. I get a great example is Ice Cube. Ice Cube tried to stay in the hood, say, yeah, I'm from here, whatever. And what happened? People robbed went to this house and robbed his house multiple times, then he had to move.
These young ladies out.
And let's not talk about the Democratic part right here. Remember, when Trump and Biden was running for office back in 2020, Ice Cube said, "Hey, what are you gonna do for black people? Let's do this, blah blah blah." He met with Trump's people, and they said they're gonna do something if they get reelected. Trump did that. Biden said, "Well, after we get elected, we will talk." It's been 2 years. Ice Cube and Biden has not talked. Not his people, not him.
Out here twerking, pregnant, and on and doing all this crazy stuff. This Glorilla lyrics.
I did that in the last video. I'll bring it back. I did that in the last video, showing these girls twerking and stuff. She's full on pregnant.
Own problems to never work with other black men, and then you're absolutely silent on drill music and this cancerous music and behaviors that got these young ladies out here twerking, pregnant, and doing all this crazy stuff, this Glorilla lyrics, and the things that really tear our communities apart. But when you're silent on that, and when the Democratic Party wants you to go out there and vote, there is Glorilla at the Democratic Black Community campaign concert, twerking it up. And while the Democratic people that say that poison, they don't live nowhere near you.
Exactly. Maxine Waters, her district is horrible, and been in Congress for 23 years. And where does she live? Oh, in a $6 million house. Where? Outside her district. She don't live in the district that she does. Same thing with Nancy Pelosi too.
They're married. Their kids going to Ivy League schools.
Yep.
While you're over here oppressed. And your community is dirty. Or crime infested.
Correct.
And then the reason why I talk so much about black women and single motherhood is because it's something that has been enabled, a policy, family value systems that have been adopted by the left. It has hurt sisters and black people in general more than it's helped them.
Yes.
And we have to be foolish to understand it. Every dangerous city in black America is Democratic. Period.
And that's a problem.
Period. Every black Democrat or Republican or black conservative is considered to be a sellout to black America. But the real sellouts are those who lie, those who steal, those who are the corrupt. We have them in black America. We have them in the HBCUs. They're liars. They have lied. Our people have less wealth and opportunities. Let me not use the word opportunities. Let's say less wealth than we did now. We were doing better as a community under Jim Crow. I'm not talking about individually, as a community.
Exactly.
Which most of y'all don't forget. Y'all forget about that, right? You cannot do nothing without community. Do you think you can have an individualistic attitude? You want to change Detroit? You want to change St. Louis? And all black Democrats, where's your answer for this? Where are your excuses? And whenever somebody hits you with the facts, you make all kind of lies for why you can't do anything. Coleman Young was in Detroit as the mayor from 1974 to 1994, something like that. What did Coleman Young do? Coleman Young is the worst mayor in the history of America in the city of Detroit. Terrible. I'm sorry. Awful. Detroit had 20 years of a dictatorship, an American city. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy. Oh, say Duke Jackson.
I'll let you go. Yeah, that is a problem. That is something that I wanted to point out so people can understand what's going on in those cities. You gotta be careful. Cities becoming violent. So violent that this is the things that are going to happen. And we're going to bring back up crime in a little bit. So let's switch to something else in that regard. I want to go to Sister Shirzad Ali, who not only warned 30 to 40 years ago what's going to happen, she pointed this out. And did people listen? No, they ridiculed her and knocked her down for what she said. But she came with them receipts. She was correct. She had it. And that's why I gotta give shout out to my elders. Listen to this.
Calling on us as black women to bring some of that backboning strength that we have, some of that monumental dedication to the black family back to making a family. A family is more than a woman and children. A family is a father and a mother and children.
You cannot deny, however, that there are many black women who have decided for whatever reason to go it alone and are successful in raising children who are not on drugs. Yes, wait. Let me just make my point now. Who are sending their children to college,
that's not
who run a
success.
good home.
I keep trying to explain that.
Thank you.
Feeding and clothing and raising a child and making sure it's not on drugs and it goes to college, that doesn't guarantee that child any emotional success in their relationships in life.
Exactly.
That just means they may be able to get a job. See, we have to look at even what the success standard is that we're talking about. That's not necessarily success. That doesn't guarantee us success. If we can raise up an emotionally stable child, one who knows how to carry on our black nation, who knows how to be a good mother, and still perhaps contribute to the outside community, if we can raise up fathers who take responsibility for their children and who know that their presence in the home is a needed one if we are to survive, there are a lot of other things more important than us just getting a college education and a job. That does not guarantee the success of a nation. That guarantees a personal financial success, which is not the only thing that we need to revive our black nation.
She's correct on that. And it's important, and we gotta understand what a success is. So
introducing
keep on
new
going.
Sleep Number.
I'm gonna let her keep on cooking.
And said, I'm standing up for the black man's side of the story. We know what our side is, and both sides are true. We have done some very dreadful things to each other, and I don't exonerate black men, which is kind of a misconception that people have. I just say that we know his side. What about our side? And we do have a side. We have adopted some wrong standards. We are judging our men many times by the wrong value system. We are using his children sometimes against him.
Yes.
We have been told that the only benefit that a black man provides in a home is money. And if he does not give us money to take care of those kinds of financial provisions, that he has no value. And what my research has proven to me is that a black man, any man in any home, provides much more than financial support. The man provides guidance, instruction, discipline for the children, which we sorely need in our black homes. He provides gratification, fulfillment, protection. I mean, there's so many other values, and these values are the ones that are missing in our children today.
Yep.
Which is why many black children are in the street, out of control themselves,
Exactly.
disrespectful, don't have any regard for anyone. And most of us are scared of them, and everybody else is, because nobody has a way into them to try to gain any control over them. So I maintain that a return to traditional family values, certain clearly defined gender responsibilities for black men and black women in running a home and a relationship will help us to produce a better child. And if we produce a better child, certainly we'll have a better future and a better nation.
May God continue.
God bless her. God, right, kids? That's why I like her. She is the truth. Cause what she just said, and the thing about it is, she's been saying this consistency. She has not wavered or nothing. She called out what was going to happen, and she's been proven right over and over and over again. The numbers, the back statistics numbers I put on the screen proves the point what I was saying. It proves it. We don't even want to talk about the I said the poverty is bad. It's been bad. The rates. We need to change these demographics. We do. 74% of female aunt with no husband. 1.4 million black people. All that. That's crazy. Look at that. A man and no wife is only 10%. Married couple 60%, but 74%? A man, a couple family, 53 above poverty level. Female household with no husband, 37. Male with no wife, 10%. This is, see, that's the number we should be. 3 million, I should say, sorry, 50%. Yeah, that's something that we should go for. We are on all the stuff right here. It's not good. And here's something I always point out to people, because people always get this mixed up, and I like that they did this one right here. There are more white people on welfare as a number, but as a percentage, that's what the difference is in that regard. When you go like, if you go like with like white, like a mother and stuff like that, there are a lot more black men in jail because they're raised by single moms. But here you go, 42%, 24%. There are more poor white people. That's what I said. People say, "Oh, we're hurting the color." When I was like, "Oh, we're hurting the color. We're hurting blacks in there." No, we don't need it to be there. The white people are the ones who need it, not us. So we need to have better. You need to have better demographics. That's why I want more families. That's why I want married couples to live above the poverty level. That's what we do best. Okay. But right now, that independent mindset that some of your women go through, here's a sad story. This is when you see her like, oh, all my independent women, all my EDPP, you don't need a man? Well, I would like Mr. Raul to show you something.
On Section 8, claiming to be strong and independent, this video is for you. Are you financially ready? Before we get started, I'd like to give a special thanks to Hassani Ali and Adrian Mason for your generous contribution. Please know that your continued support is greatly appreciated.
At Athens city-sanctioned encampment, you could technically be in an apartment right now if you could find one that would accept the voucher.
Yes.
So here's the issue. Landlords in Atlanta are no longer wanting to accept Section 8 vouchers. So there's a lot of these people, mostly women and children, are having to live in these tents. There are a lot of women in Atlanta over the years who have been claiming to be strong and independent, who are now realizing they're not as independent as they thought they were.
Right now, if you could find one that would accept the voucher.
Yes. What's the use of a voucher and I can't do anything with it?
Nikita Blanc is getting her master's in sociology at Georgia State University. As part of the program, she spent a year working at the Marietta Housing Authority.
I've been, I've seen the desperation in a lot of people's faces when they can't find a place.
Moved by her experience, she is working with other students to figure out why landlords are locking out tenants on Section 8.
You know what they say, mostly all sociology people, like I said, that doesn't get paid that well. It's mostly women, but again, I just had to point it out.
We just want to know, did you not get paid on time? Was the relationship with the tenant bad?
Yes.
Well, let me help you out, young lady, on why landlords are locking out Section 8 recipients. It's because too many of them destroy our property. For some of y'all have been following me for a while, you know that I've been a landlord for approximately 25 years. And I just sold the last of my rental properties at the end of last year. I stopped renting Section 8 about 15 years ago simply because of that very reason. They don't respect things that belong to other people. Here you are, handing them the keys to a perfectly good house, and they'll destroy that house in a very short period of time. Then the inspection is due a year later, and now the inspector is writing up all these broken things that you as the landlord have to repair, and the tenant themselves, they don't get chastised, nor do they have to pay for anything out of their pocket.
The federal government limits how much it will pay in rent. Landlords are subject to housing authority inspections and must be willing to take rent payments from two sources, the tenant and the government. In a hot rental market, they could all be reasons.
Not only do you have to deal with them tearing up your property and you have to pay out of pocket for the repairs, now this woman whose rent is only $55 is constantly paying late or lying trying to get out of paying the $55 that she owes you every month. They act like that $55 shouldn't be anything to you as a landlord because you own property. But the reality is, you signed the lease to pay the total amount which we agreed on. Then pay the portion you are supposed to pay. And also, we need all that money because chances are she's gonna tear up the property and we're gonna be on the hook for repairing it.
Sometimes it's like an unspoken thing. We're not going to tell you we don't accept it, but we want you to make 3 times the rent. And your credit score needs to be XYZ.
All barriers landlords know someone using a voucher can't achieve.
Car and home insurance rates will go up.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Landlords actively participating in their program has dropped 20%.
And that's how we get ourselves away from Section 8 tenants, even though our property was just recently occupied by a Section 8 recipient. And our property is still on the Section 8 list. We just asked for 3 times the amount of security deposit plus first month's rent, which we know the average Section 8 recipient cannot afford. Also, we have them fill out an application. So when we see on the application that they are a Section 8 voucher recipient, we just send them a letter saying, sorry, we found a more suitable tenant for our property. This way we can avoid the possibility of them trying to file a discrimination lawsuit against us. When we want out, we will find a way out.
Human
According
nature.
to our open records request, housing authorities across the state report less than half of the families who get vouchers use them.
And that's because as landlords, we're sick and tired of jumping through hoops for the Section 8 program. But the tenant, they can pretty much get away with anything they want. And you watch, these numbers are going to get even higher when it comes down to landlords not wanting to accept Section 8. It's pretty big in Athens, Georgia. But watch, as time goes on, it's going to spread to other states.
What would you say is at stake if we don't figure this out?
You're going to see a huge increase in homelessness, women, children, the elderly, our most vulnerable, our most vulnerable populations will be suffering.
So for those of y'all who don't already know, landlords have to jump through a lot of hoops just to get their property on Section 8. First, you got to call and make an appointment. Then you got to go to that appointment. They'll give you a caseworker, and then you have to sit there and fill out all these forms right in front of the caseworker. God forbid you don't have all the information right then and there. Then you have to take the application home, finish filling it out, make another appointment to bring it back for the caseworker to look over it and approve it and send it through. Then you gotta wait for them to get in touch with you to schedule you for an inspection. Then when the inspector comes, anything that they write up, like chip paint or anything that's loose or broken, you have to make another appointment after you fix it for them to come back and approve the repairs. Then you can be added to the Section 8 list. Most time, it could take anywhere from 1 to 3 months to get everything in place in order for you to start interviewing Section 8 tenants. And after all of that, you give this house to a tenant and they come up in your house and tear everything up and then try to dodge you for the $55 that she owes per month. And you're pretty much stuck in rent control because Section 8 is only going to pay so much money per house based on the number of bedrooms. Not to mention that property taxes are skyrocketing. So we need to make more rent in order to keep the property. We could charge a regular renter $1,800 a month when Section 8 will only pay $1,200 a month for that same house. And we don't have to deal with those annual inspections anymore. So for all the elderly out there who were taking care of the landlord's property, and the women out there with children who were taking care of the landlord's property, you know who's to blame for this, right? These women who don't control their children and allow them to destroy the landlord's property. Not to mention, they're letting other people live in there that weren't on the list on the application that they filled out. Therefore, having even more people tearing up your property. That's who you have to blame for this. And of course, those will be the same women running around talking about how they're independent and don't need a man because they can do it all by themselves. You know how they say winter is coming? Well, for a lot of women on Section 8, winter is here. Oh, and don't think I forgot about you regular working women.
How you doing? I was talking to one of my friends. He is an attorney and owns a successful practice, and he said that he's having to hire a whole bunch of new lawyers because his firm is filing thousands, not hundreds, thousands of eviction notices and foreclosure notices per week in the state of Georgia and 3 other states. Did y'all hear me? Thousands. Like, real talk, it's really looking scary like 2008, 2009. And what I want to know is, where are these people going to go stay? Like, for real, why is this not what's being discussed on the news every night?
Well, if you take care of people,
Housing prices in this country. And you know, I've talked and said all this stuff about BlackRock and all these people buying up these houses to rent. Maybe there's going to be some big, huge government contract for Section 8 expansion.
If there's going to be a government expansion for Section 8, there's going to be a problem with that in the near future too. Because as you just saw, landlords are getting out of renting Section 8. But as far as the regular earning women, I see some of the videos that you all are making on your TikTok and Instagram. And I'm checking out the background of all that overpriced stuff in your overpriced house. According to financial experts, the worst is yet to come. So if you're already living paycheck to paycheck, it's only going to get worse. And I know how some of you materialistic women are. You will live paycheck to paycheck just so you can fake and look like you living the life. But in reality, your behind is broke. So you know how y'all keep yelling how you're strong and independent and don't need a man, and you don't want to go 50-50 with a man? Over the next few years, keep that same energy. Hey, somebody had to tell you, and I love you, so it might as well be me. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when I post a new video. I post a new video every week. And in the meantime,
please
keep that same energy. My name is Raul. See you in another video.
I don't want to be an independent woman anymore. This is not all that it's cracked up to be.
Oh, really?
Been doing it for quite some time now, and tired. Somebody come get me.
No, 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 no. I don't wanna. No, no, oh, no, no, no.
So if you
nope. I don't wanna. Nope. Ha. Yep. That's what's going on. That is what's going on right now. It's sad, but it is what's going on in the world today. I'm telling you right now, nothing's more powerful than a man, a woman, and their children, a nuclear family who love each other and do stuff. Maybe because, as one person said, we got away from our Christian values, which help the country. Maybe because we try to bring in all these other stuff that never work. Socialism never work. Has never had work in that regard. But people think, oh, we should all do this equal and everything. If all's put an equal amount of effort, then I agree with it. But we never do. We don't. That's just human nature. And again, I always say, yes, classism, all that stuff that people put on the news and in music and everything. That's the way to divide people. I don't like this man and female war thing. I don't. I will tell men to be careful to wrap it up. Oops. I lost my light power source. Sorry about that. But wrap it up. Don't put yourself in a situation that can mess you up. And ladies, do the exact same thing. Again, I am not against you going and getting your degree. Get a good degree. But I'm not against you going to gain a degree. I'm not against you working hard and doing things on your own. I'm not against that at all. But you can't do everything by yourself. You just can't and do it successfully. There are few who can, but majority are not. And right now, as you see, the demographics of going at the demographics I just showed you show that men and women work better together, including the blacks. We work better together to live above poverty level. Just do. That's what we did. If you're going out there having kids and not with the right people and all that stuff, yeah, that creates a problem. And do not let these white women pull you into a situation. I have another video clip here, but I don't think I'll. Let me see how long. Let me see how long it is. Let me see. So if it does points out something. It's basically this like I said, and again, white leftist women. I'll summarize it. White leftist women really do watch those women like a hawk. They're the most racist, the most craziest people to put in a situation. This lady tragically got killed by some hooligans, and her family, they want to forgive them and say that she was an activist and she wanted restorative justice. And I am not gonna degrade her for what she wanted. You know, she died a horrible death. She died a horrible death. But she also the one where, like I said, women don't need men. We could do this all by ourselves. We could do stuff like that. she got jumped and they dragged her. She got killed because they jumped her, beat her up, and then they dragged her to the streets, which is the whole way to die. And our parents said, if loved ones said, we don't do this, blah blah blah. And I get that. And I say they're saying we should let the people who did this go. No. You want to do that? That's all good. But I don't want those people on the streets where they could do stuff for other people and hurt other people. They took a life. They should lose the freedom of seeing sunlight. I'm sorry. And the way that you did it, and I never understand people always say that about, we should not do capital punishment for people. They are dying from an injection. My idea always been use carbon dioxide. It's always whatever. It'll be quicker. Let they die from that. But I'm saying, and I don't wish this on people, but I'm just saying that these people always say that to people who die simply, while other people got bludgeoned, beaten, bruised, got raped, got all kind of horrible stuff happen to them, and that nobody wants to talk about that stuff. No, that itself is just disgusting. Okay, you want to do that? Good for you, but no. We're not letting criminals back out there. And they're letting these same criminals back in the black neighborhoods to start more problems. And the cycle is basically, again, women, you always say where these weak men from, where these jerks came from, whatever. Half of them majority of them came from single mother households, as you saw the numbers. That's what they came from. Not all single moms have bad kids. I'm not a bad kid. My sister's not a bad kid from what we did. We had an exception to the rule. But you saw the number at 74% now. That's crazy. And they're the ones who want to leave you to say, women we could do by ourselves. You don't need a man. You don't need this. They're the same people who tell you, like you just said right there. They're the same women who tell you, women, you don't need a gun. Why you need a gun? Whatever. I want to just show you this part right here from a boy called Noir of a woman looking for she had a gun. And this guy was an idiot. This guy's an idiot. I'm sorry you placed, and they said he died. So sorry. And there's important information in it for people who are gun owners. So I'm going to play this last one, and we'll call it a night. Okay, this one needs to be talked about as well, too. For my ladies out there. I said, we don't need a gun. Nah, you are not going to empower a guy majority of times. So let's do the story.
Stop what you're doing right now and watch this next video because there are so many things to learn from it.
They took my $80 I hid in my pocket.
See, this is a black woman. And the thing that came about it is there was guys who was running this guy down. She came out to figure out what's going on. And she was talking to the guy and she was helping the guy.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. You got to kill me now. Okay. Watch this. I'm sorry. You got me. Okay. Dang, you shot me for real.
Yeah.
Damn, baby, I'm sorry. Okay.
Let's go right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Damn, baby.
Now you go down for this.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Call the police! Call the police right now!
I'm sorry, baby.
Don't go down I shoot you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Didn't I?
I don't want to die,
Didn't
baby.
I?
I don't want
Didn't
to die.
I?
Yeah, baby.
Didn't I just say I'll kill you?
I'm sorry,
Didn't
baby.
I just say that? Didn't I just say that? Didn't I?
I'm sorry.
Fuck you. You just...
I don't want to die, baby. Please.
You... Call the police. I just shot somebody. Just told you I shoot your... Tried to rob me. Tried to help your dog.
Damn.
He just tried to rob me. He got a whole surprise. I just told you I was trying to help you.
I apologize, baby.
Couple of things to keep in mind. Yes, this woman is a cop, but none of that matters because when all of this happened, she was an off-duty cop. She wasn't in uniform, and the gun she was carrying was her off-duty gun. So, for all intents and purposes, this woman was a concealed carrying citizen. I point out all of this because people from the gun control lobby will try to write this situation off by saying, oh, but she was a cop, so it's different. No, it's not. Any regular citizen can find themselves in this exact same situation. So miss me with that. So the video starts off as just another grimy day in Southside Chicago. you can see 3 people confronting and trying to attack this one guy. I'm assuming they were making a lot of noise about it because she comes out and confronts them as a mediator of sorts. A few seconds later, 3 of the guys walk off while she continues speaking with the 4th person. Then out of nowhere, once she turns her back and starts to walk off, this goofball attacks her. All of the reports that I read said he was trying to take her gun, and it does seem like that's exactly what he was trying to do. But our lady friend here hit him with that Usher meme though. Now let's talk about all of the lessons to be learned here from this video.
Yep.
The first lesson being, the gun is the equalizer.
Yep.
If he had attacked her the same way and she didn't have her gun, this would have been a very different video.
That is exactly true. And that's the part that I don't like when other people's talking about, oh, we don't need these guns. Again, criminals do not obey the law. Point blank, period. I don't understand how that's so hard. And women who say, oh, women don't need, the gun was the equalizer. She would have not beat that guy. He would have beat the heck out of her. But the gun was the equalizer.
I don't care what all the 109th wave feminist books tell you. The vast majority of men are bigger and stronger than women. So the only thing that will equal the playing field when a bigger and stronger man is attacking a woman is a gun. The second thing to be learned from this video is to keep a round in the chamber. I know a lot of people like to carry guns without a round in the chamber, which if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But just understand the limitations and drawbacks of doing that. She only had one hand to grab her gun and pull the trigger. And it was that first shot that got him off of her. Even then, he still tried to grab for the gun and almost had it, but it was the second shot that caused him to stop grabbing. Without a round in the chamber, I am almost certain he would have taken that gun away from her. It wasn't her she-man strength that kept him away from her. It was that gun going off and hitting his ass. The third thing to learn is that gun control doesn't work on criminals. This woman was trying to help this man. You can even hear her say it in the video. Yet this lunatic still tried to attack her for no reason. What makes you think someone who is that compassionless and irrational is going to care about not breaking a gun law? He didn't hesitate to attack a woman who just got done helping him from being attacked himself. There's no reasoning with criminals like this. All they know how to do is to hunt for victims. And the only thing they respect is a potential victim with a gun. Make all the laws you want. It's not stopping criminals like this. The fourth thing to learn is to get some type of concealed carry insurance. I say that because even though this woman was not...
And this is the important part for because me and my wife are trying to get guns and everything too. This is the most important part. Listen carefully.
Not charged with anything criminally. The family of the man she shot and killed ended up suing her in civil court for $10 million. Yes, you heard that right. They sued her for defending herself against their family member who attacked her. Unfortunately, we live in a society where you can use a gun to save your life, but the family of the person you saved your life from can turn around and try to sue you into bankruptcy. So you may beat the criminal case, but you'll still have to deal with the civil. That's why it's important to have some type of concealed carry insurance like you get when you become a member of USCCA, because you'll not only have access to attorneys to help you with your criminal and civil case, they'll also cover you for any collateral property damage that may occur during your self-defense shooting. Let's say she had missed a couple of those shots and hit a car or a window. With the USCCA membership, you could have all of that covered. I think USCCA is the best, which is why I work with them exclusively. But even if you don't use them, get some form of concealed carry insurance, because people are quick to sue you for anything these days. And the last thing to learn from this video is the reality of open carry. I don't have a problem with people open carrying, but it does come with some risk. One of those being, everyone knows you have a gun on you, including all of the criminals. This guy clearly knew she had a gun on her and he went for it. The same thing can happen to you when you open carry. Criminals aren't always the brightest people in the world, and they tend to act on impulse. So seeing a gun being carried in the open is the precious to their golem. At the end of the day, this guy messed around and found out what has been said for decades. God made man, but Samuel Colt made man equal. I love the way this lady handled herself, and I hope she gets all the support she needs going forward. You know how frightening...
Yep, and that I hope so too. That's how crazy it is. I wanted to pass that last piece on right there to you guys. And again, remember, We gotta stop this right here. This is the problem we have. So, ladies, yes, it's all good that you're getting degrees. It's all good that you're getting better jobs out there, and you're making that money. On average, black men still makes more money than women on average. So we still choose better STEM jobs than women. That's the difference. And we have less debt than women. Women have more debt. But you can do better. Go to better schools. But the most important part is we need families. That's why I did this. There's a reason why I did this right here. I wanted a family, but I want to do it the right way. I'm 40 years old, but I didn't want to do no stupidness to make it very tough for anything out there. That's a whole different system of putting yourself in trouble. And I'm not doing that. So, again, women, you're doing great, but we have problems. As you can see, majority of women also are getting kicked out of Section 8. A lot of women are learning now that, yeah, we don't want to do all this stuff by ourselves. I got you. You know, God made both men and women. So that's something that we should abide by and try to understand. So, yeah. Men also need to do better. Black men need to also do better. Stop getting out in the streets. Get away from all these gangster thugs and stuff. Stop trying to be hard and chisel for them girls. Because those same girls don't care about you. Because as soon as you go to jail or you get killed, they're going to be out sleeping with another Pookie and Ray Ray. Don't become a Pookie and Ray Ray. Don't do that. Yes, some people will look at you and make laugh at you. I got bullied when I was in high school, and people laughed at me. Yes, had my glasses. I'm a nerd. I don't go out. Women tell me I was born when I was younger. Oh, you're born. You don't go no place. You just stay home. Blah blah. Yeah, but you know what? I accumulated my wealth. I run my company. I traveled the world. I became self-efficient in doing stuff around the house. As my wife could tell you, from cars to house, electricity, stuff like that. I just did it for my, and I also help other people the same way too. Help communities build this, do this for that. Like I just did it. I'm a nerd. I'm a proud nerd that did this. I was self-taught when it comes to music. So hey, it is what it is. Okay. So with that said, seriously, guys, just remember that the best thing is not who you vote for and all that other crap. Again, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your neighbors, and take care of your community. That's the best way to do things. That's why I live in the neighborhood I live in right now. My wife calls it Yuppie Bill, but hey, we don't really got that much problems going around with everything. Okay? But really, take care of your community. You'll be all good and everything. And again, for y'all, remember, evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, occupation, gender, weight, location, nation. It makes no difference. Evil is evil. I would always chastise other people who do wrong, but but again, I don't care what color you are. Wrong is wrong, right is right. We gotta do that. And that's the best. I'm telling you right now, a nuclear family is the dagger to stop a lot of the thing. So again, remember what a lot of politicians, Republicans or Democrat, mostly Democrat, because I always said people, there's no more hate than a Republican and Democrat politician. But here's the thing. Right now, Ohio is going through a lot of horrible stuff right now. President Trump is in Ohio. President Biden is in Ukraine again. Good that he's doing over there, but here's the funny part again. Remember I told you, we traded a woman for an arms dealer to Russia, who's also good at getting weapons to give to Russia to hurt Ukraine. How that makes sense? It doesn't. They know it, and they're playing the game messed up. All right. But a dagger to stop all this stuff for the black people is a unified family. Guys, vet these women over and over and over again to make sure they're in the right place. Women, trust me, do the exact same thing. Vet these men so you don't end up with a Pookie Ray. This man is a gangster, thug, whatever. Kick up to the side. Is not a good person. Do not follow the other people with that. Okay? Remember, this is just the best way to go. So remember, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell on YouTube subscribe on Spotify, share the videos on Twitch and Tempo FM and all the other platforms we are. Remember, Train No Chasers, Monday to Friday daily, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, and Project Open Mic, of course, 9 o'clock Eastern, Thursday night. All right, remember people are stupid, individuals smart, be that smart individual. Peace out and have a good night. Catch y'all next time.